Mexico. He's the head of Televisa, who quite openly bought the last election, and having his name on the film has been a double-edged sword. The good side was that because his name was on it, we got major release. I had 35 millimeter prints going around Mexico, which is amazing. 250,000 people saw it in the cinema. We had the premiere at this place called Bellas Artes, which is like the Royal Albert Hall in Mexico, and it got a bit of a release here. But the bad news is that because he's on it, people think that it's a Televisa telenovela or something, and they don't realise that it's a hippie film about peace and love. But it's such a miracle that it got made at all, you know what I mean? That I got asked to go and do it, and they gave me the freedom. That was the amazing thing. When I went down there, I said, it'll cost me a little bit, and they said yes. And then I said, and you can't say anything until I give you my first cut. So I had a year and a half of complete freedom, and I gave them the first cut, and they changed it a little bit, but they were just so over the moon, because they were expecting some arty-farty movie. I was expecting some arty-farty movie. I wasn't expecting to nail it, and I feel that I nailed it somehow. I'm still not quite sure how, but I got Mexico as it is right now. I'm bubbling underneath that nobody really knows about. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious because in the movie they referred to, I'm assuming, I'm not sure, correct me or enlighten me, I think they referred to you as the gabacho. Do you know what that term means?
The güero, they employed. Yeah. I'm DJ Güero, that's what they call me.
But how were you accepted over there? Are you like a Mexicano now?
Well, yes. Yeah, I am. I'm the one Mexicano that doesn't speak Spanish. Anyway, there's lots of things that I'm not Mexican, but how was I accepted? I had my producer that I got, this woman, Lynn Fenstein, is very, very well respected, and she does a lot of Hollywood movies. She's the music supervisor for a lot of movies. So when people get the call from her, they take it. So coming through her and with my previous work, I make sure everybody I work with would see what I'd done before. But actually, I was ridiculously well accepted. The only problems I had were with the Hecho, who were very suspicious, rightly so. And I had to work very hard. I had to go and stay with them for a lot. We talked and we played music together. We jammed, and it started to happen. But they were very suspicious. But most of the pop stars, you know, even like Gloria Trevi and all the funny people that had nothing to do with me whatsoever, we had a really good time. I got so drunk with Alejandro Fernandez one night. But we won't talk about that.
I saw a lot of other hands.
There's one there.
Where?
Just,
Me? Go ahead.
yeah.
Hi. I was wondering, how did you select the music? Was that already composed, or did you have the artist?
Yeah.
Collaborate with?
The first thing I did when I got there was compose a soundtrack. So I made about an hour and a half of music, listening and sampling stuff and just composing things that I thought might inspire the people that I meet. One of the first things was the rap right at the beginning, where I sampled a bit of Mono Blanco and I put my stuff underneath. And then I met the rapper Baston, and I said, come on, let's do a rousing rap that's positive about Mexico. It was the first thing I did, and we got on really well, and so that naturally married itself. And then, like 6 months later, I actually managed to meet Mono Blanco, and we redid their bit and changed the lyrics to fit the rap. So it's a bit organic. It's like a treasure hunt, you know. But basically, what I did first was just compose and sample and listen, and then sometimes, like Cojelites, they sing the one about my mum told me to go to the fields and look for love. That was just their song. I didn't touch it. They did it, and you know, that was it. And other ones were very right. The Nana Guadalupe track, I wrote the music first, just this kind of Bach Genesis thing, and then I met Leela Downs, and she literally went home and sent me an MP3 in the morning, and there was the song on it. So it's made lots of amazing things. Natalia Lafourcade improvised that song in one go over the Chamulan music. So it's really like, my job is like a facilitator of just trying to inspire people to do things on the spot, because often I'm only with them for like 2 or 3 hours. And because it's not their product, they're not so hung up about it. You know, they're not trying to have a hit single or, oh, this is my career. It's like, there's this mad Englishman there who wants me to sing on the music from Chamula. okay, let's have a go at it. And that was, I think, comes through in the film, this sense of people doing things that they don't usually do. But when Lupe Esparza, you know, he felt it was like singing like opera. You know, I said, why don't you copy Leela's melody and put your own words on it? And we spent the whole day, and he didn't really get it. And then we were shooting the next day, and he turned up and he knew it. I think he'd been up all night. He got really nervous. He worked really hard on it, and he came into the church where he recorded, and he just sung it like perfectly. It's beautiful.